Now, and this is your chance to be a jockey at the Kentucky Derby, at least for a few minutes, but really anyone's only a jockey at the Kentucky Derby for 2 minutes anyway. So enhanced visuals are a part of the new and improved Riders Up exhibit at the Kentucky Derby Museum, which is opening to the public today.
Jim, who is well over 6 feet, and fellow journalist Paul Landers are checking it out. I don't know how many jockeys of your size I've seen, but let's try it.
You know, Eric, you have a point there. With my size, I probably will never actually be able to be a jockey in the Kentucky Derby, but I can get the full experience right behind me at the new Riders Up. I'm joined by Phil from Catalyst, part of the team that designed all of this, the new exhibit, the game, everything. Phil, we actually took a little walkthrough of this earlier. It is fantastic, and I want to talk to you just a little bit about what went into the game design, because there are so many details in here. It really is an immersive experience.
Sure. Welcome, thank you. Yeah, we're obviously very proud of the game. The biggest thing is actually the most advanced horse racing game in the world, and that's down to the technology, and we'll come on to that a bit later on. But in terms of the gameplay, there's been months of effort from going through the history to actually replicate the best game of play we can develop. There's 5 different eras we can develop. You can pick different jockeys, accessibility options. You know, there's been no stone unturned in terms of the gameplay.
There we go. It really is fantastic. And when you think about the old Riders Up, you guys got to look at the old Riders Up and how basic it was. When you get on this one, it is still very intuitive, but there's so many more details to it. There's so many other ways to kind of play and add that level of skill that maybe you didn't have with the old one.
Yeah, there's the skill, like you say, Jim. You know, there's a skill to win the game. You know, there's a boost element which is really fun. You know, so you're playing against others to actually win, and you know, if you can get the boost right, you're going to win.
There we go. And Paul's showing you right now some of the other horses that people can get on. You can get up to 5 players, and as Phil said, there's one all accessible horse over here on the far right. There's also a colorblind mode. There's ways that this can be as accessible as possible. But Paul, if you back up, you'll see the giant 5K screen up here. So even if you're not playing the game, you can still watch the race and get that kind of experience. It's going to be so cool. This opens up a little bit later on today, 10 o'clock, the ribbon cutting, and then Kentucky Derby Museum is going to have a bunch of 3rd graders out here to give their hand at trying to win the Kentucky Derby. We're all going to get on the horses coming up here in about 30 minutes. You can watch that race coming up in just a little bit on GMK.
Jim, thank you. For similar reasons that I'm excited to see Jim get on this horse, one of my favorite memories when I first moved here was bringing my parents to the Derby Museum, because my dad, similar to Jim, is like 6'4", and I did make him get on one of those horses. So.
I'd be excited also to see those 3rd graders kind of like seeing this for the first time and having a good time on it. We'll check back in with Jim shortly. Ben.